Super exciting. Being able to smell virtual reality brings us one step closer to Ready Player One. So I cannot wait for other people to be able to try this amazing technology. Everyone, welcome to this episode of VRT Talk Show. One of our previous episodes, we talked specifically with Peter Sassman on Haptic Souls Cilia. Today, super exciting, we have the entire team with us.
Hi, I'm Peter the Thinker. I do electrical board layout and also the mechanical design for the Cilia.
I'm Gypsy. I work on the hardware and some of the software.
I'm Rubik. I handle firmware design and help a little bit with the PCB.
And hello, Peter Sassman again, president, co-founder of Haptic Solutions, and just kind of all the different technical areas.
In case there's anybody that's watching that has not heard of this product before, the Cilia is a product that allows you to smell virtual reality. The Microcilia, which we're talking about, is one that can be mounted on the chest. So while you're walking around or playing your games, the scent will actually travel with you. And in terms of scents, what kind of smells can you use this for?
Basically anything.
Yeah, pretty much anything that can be turned into a scented oil. There's some scents that oxidize a bit too quickly to be encapsulated that way, but for the most part, you could get pretty much any smell in an oil. There's stores online with like thousands of different scents, and we sell about 500 on our website.
500? Oh my God.
Put into the bottles, but people can also buy empty bottles to fill themselves because the bottles are inherently refillable. So you could buy a bunch of empty bottles, go to one of these stores online, and just buy pretty much any scent you want to put in them.
That's incredible. So I know one of the scents that people are looking forward to, that I've heard at least, is of course like gunpowder. And I know, Peter, you're working really hard to try to get that scent. You said you have 500 scents available on your store. How many of these are, just available already on the market? And how many of these you've had to kind of try to come up with?
So the majority of the ones we do are already just ones that somebody's already like made. There's a few that we get more concentrated, like skunk, and then we dilute that down ourselves by putting it in a coconut oil down to like a low percentage. So if there's some things that we've diluted as far as like actually like creating the essential oils ourselves. We haven't really done much of that. We do have some equipment and have made like a small amount of like coffee essential oil, but that's about it. Mostly we just kind of buy what's available, but it's not outside the realm of possibility that at some point in the future we might make some in-house, especially if the company grows more.
That's some hardcore chemistry stuff.
Yeah, you're basically just kind of boiling or steaming whatever you want to get the oil from, and then the oils evaporate, and then you can condense them through a condenser down into something where you separate out both the water, the water from the oil, and then you have essential oil essentially.
I didn't know that that's how that worked, but that makes so much sense. Actually, that probably looks really cool as a setup too. Definitely a mad scientist vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When people have heard about this product, how has the response been?
I mean, okay. Half the time I hear people talk about people, oh, I work on this thing as the smell vision. Isn't that banned? Isn't FDA banned that? And I explained it was the vape-based one. There's the other one.
That's so funny.
Here's the LTT video, and they'll go, oh, that makes sense.
Well,
literally.
There's some people who've even watched the LTT video who still don't understand that it's not vape. They think, oh, this is probably something cool, but it's probably still banned. But they don't realize that it's the same thing as if you've ever put a scent clip into your car's vent to blow, maybe pineapple or pine or whatever. It's the same principle with our device. It's not vape juices and little heating coils vaporizing to where you're inhaling it into your lungs. This is just kind of wafting a little bit of scent off of a scented oil instead.
Yeah, so if anyone at home has ever used an oil diffuser, it's a pretty similar concept, I believe.
Yeah, especially the Microcilia. We're using actually a little rattan or bamboo wick to waft the
Oh,
scent off of, as
Right here.
opposed to the original one where it was more of a membrane like you have in the car
may I hold this?
vent one.
You go for it.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is why I love Neos. Like, you want to see something? This is what we're talking about. You can't see it. Here you go, a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's
Yep,
right there.
there's the wick at the top of the bottle right there, and so
Oh
the
man,
air just
thank you for bringing that
literally
up.
And
the air just
Fantastic.
literally blows past that wick and evaporates a little bit of the scent and wafts it up words until it reaches your nose. So yeah.
All right. So which headsets will the Cilia and the Microcilia work with, or maybe expanding beyond headsets? I mean, what else is it compatible with aside from VR2 as well?
I mean, since we're websites, we could write a shim to make it work on Alexa. Hey Alexa, I want to smell like
No
pine sol today.
way.
That's completely doable.
Well,
Absolutely.
Wow.
yeah, it can be connected to anything like with WebSockets or
Yeah.
TCP connection or Bluetooth. As long as it can talk that, it could in theory work with the newer Microcilia. The original Cilia is currently kind of limited to a Windows machine. But we're going to be updating the original Cilia to, like, I don't know if we'll call it Cilia 2 or what, to also have a board that's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, and then we'll have more flexibility. We also would like to write a more cross-platform desktop SDK for running on Mac, Linux, Windows type of thing. So yeah, all
I just
future things.
thought randomly, what, because you said that you can program it to work with your Alexa. What if you could plug it into your phone and then you can spell your phone while you're like swiping
you
through
can-
your
Yeah,
you
different
can
apps?
actually do that
Gypsy,
wirelessly.
Work a little app that, right?
Gypsy was working on
It's
an app.
Really?
yeah, it's not complete.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, can you
It's gonna
imagine?
be a quick way to like configure your Cilia, get it on the network, configure what scents are in it, and then it'll probably be able to control the scents as well, right? So you could do a little test.
Oh man,
Though
for
some
movie
people do use
theaters?
the original. Yeah, some people do
You
use
just
the
gave me a
original
horrible
Cilia for
idea.
movies.
Box fans, solid state relays, and gallon drums of scents.
Yeah, you could
At the base of a large
use the
theater.
control board to
No.
run the solid state relays with some large fans, as long as you have big enough reservoirs of scent, like maybe a
That's
Tupperware
a
full of scent.
horrible idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been on those rides before, like the 4D rides at the at the theme parks. And so now that we're going to have we have VR headsets and we're going to have Sense, and of course there's other companies that are making, haptic feedback and also the treadmills or, locomotions. It's going to be insane. The immersiveness is going to be insane. We are not even going to need like the theme parks anymore. I mean, I already know that you guys have not met in person yet, but how did you even meet? How did this team form?
So Peter and I met through a fellow acquaintance on Twitter. Kind of introduced us like, hey, y'all should hang out or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, kind of just reached out and stuff, and I had started a Discord earlier this year for Haptic Solutions because thought that'd be a better way to kind of engage with the community. And then Peter and I were both on that Discord, and he got me to try Neos. And that's where I met
it was
Gypsy
you. That's so funny.
I was just kind of hanging out in Neos one day, and I don't remember who I met. I met Peter first on my left, and then one day he introduced me to Peter Sassman when he first brought him into Neos. Yeah. I was there on the first time you came in the Neos, and then we got to talking over time, and then one day you mentioned the Cilia, and then pulled a schematic in the Neos, and we took a look at it, and there was just a and we had a back and forth about it, and then joined the team.
I think Rubik, you were on the first day I was in as well, right? Or one of the first 2 days, like when I was trying to get the logics working.
Yeah, I was helping you with the logics on your first day.
Sweet. Yeah, we
Okay, so
hit the ground running with trying to get Cilia working with Neos.
Having never met, how do you work together, and what's that been like?
Kind of actually awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, Neos is like a Discord on steroids, so we can do a lot of our meetings in here when we want to actually get into VR. We do a lot of them actually in Discord too. A lot of like jam sessions, but for like major meetings, we'll just come in here and we'll just kind of be in this exact yard environment I made a while back and just use it as our office.
Yeah, it's also really cool because we all specialize in different aspects of the project. So we all have at least some understanding of each other's roles. So it makes it really easy to bounce ideas off each other.
This is a little bit off of a tangent, but I think it's amazing that VR can bring people together who have never met each other, who can now work together on a product and be able to interact with each other in a virtual space, but feel, have it feel real. I think that's so cool.
Actually, better than real. We can't do things.
Oh, that's a good point.
Even when we were in person, we couldn't do better than here. Jasmine, actually, something I want to bring up that I can't prove this, but I think the Microcilia would be one of the first ever products probably designed in VR, designed for VR, ever.
That's a great point.
Basically, a free thing called Neos. That's just kind of a 3D printer kind of thing.
So you guys designed this product in VR. Can you explain what that means? Because it's hard for a lot of people who don't spend a lot of time in VR to conceptualize.
Sure. Since I did a lot of mechanical layouts, we don't design the whole thing in here. We don't have the tools in here to do full CAD modeling. We'll spawn out things that are brick shaped or whatnot and do mass outs. We'll also bring in a PCB and see how it's going to fit. And then it's more for visualization. So instead of wasting time 3D printing tons of little revisions, we can do less of them and just do them here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
More anything else.
Yeah,
and it works out great for that.
Together and be like, oh, we need this part here and this part here, and 3D as opposed to just like on a flat screen, which won't let us see some of the things that, especially when you can like make things bigger, like bigger than they can be on a flat screen.
Very cool. So I know we've talked mostly about the Cilia, but I know that you guys have been working on some other products as well. So what other products do you have on the pipeline for your company, Haptic Soul?
I can pop out something if it isn't too heavy. In 2020, since we weren't having quite as many sales, we started working on this guy. Some Haptic Gloves. I'll go ahead and bring in a better looking version of the backpack. But basically a device to allow you to kind of feel the shape and hardness of objects in VR. And here's one of the possible gloves.
Oh my gosh! We just have all the goods.
I'll bring up the other glove too.
This is a hand, and this is the haptic. So it's a force.
Yeah, kind of a force feedback. So your fingers in the game would start to close around a virtual object, and it pulls on little fishing lines, and then as they animate your fingers in the virtual world and they come in contact with something, then it would just ask, oh, how hard is this object, and send it back and apply the right amount of force onto each of your fingers.
So this backpack would have all the wires inside of it and motors that would adjust based off of whatever the object is?
Correct.
It's so cool. So what experiences can people look forward to at CES? What will they be able to try out? But yeah, do you want to talk about your boardwalk and how you came up with that idea and what it's like?
I grew up in LA in the mid 2000s. I thought the smells we have that are really punchy and are a really good experience, that are gonna really work well to everyone's nose, they're pretty universal, are things like candies and sweets, like popcorn and cotton candy, root beer floats, and all those kind of things. And also a lot of the bakery smells for like actually even jasmine tea, ironically enough. These things really kind of pop olfactory wise. And so a boardwalk map gives you a place to do this. It's easy to build map wise, and we have little stalls. The stalls each contain an experience, so that way it's a really good demo map, if you will.
That's so thoughtful. I did get a chance to try it when I met with Peter Sassman a week ago. I was able to try it, and my heart, you should have seen how hard I was smiling. My friends that got to try it were all just over the moon, like literally felt like a kid in the candy store, or I guess in this instance on the boardwalk. And you're totally right. Those smells bring up so much nostalgia and like happy memories. So it's such a great idea for a demo experience. Like, bravo. I loved it. It was
I haven't
great.
even tried it yet. You're lucky. I haven't even tried it yet.
Oh, it was so fun. So if people wanted to get their hands on one of these, when can they buy them and where?
February is when we're targeting shipping the first units.
As for when you can buy the Microcilia, well, great news. They're actually taking pre-orders starting November 22nd, 2021 on their website, hapticsoul.com. They're only taking a limited amount of pre-orders, so definitely get in there very soon. They're targeting a ship date of February 2022. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. This was really informative, and it's so cool to hang out with all of you.
Yeah, thank you for having us on.
Thanks.
Thanks.
It's been fun.
Bye.
See you all later.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.